Tokyo Ravens is a Japanese light novel series written by Kaori Asano and illustrated by Summerhue. It was adapted into a manga series in 2010 and anime series on October 8, 2013. Funimation is simulcasting the series on their website. Plot: in the Great Disaster, Japan has been thrown into chaos by Onmyauji. Harutra Tsuki Mikado was born into an Onmyauji family, but has no power whatsoever. His estranged childhood friend appears one day to take him up on a promise he made long ago to become her Shikigami. Main characters: Harutra Tsuki Mikado, voiced by Kaito Ishikawa; Risa Tanada, the main protagonist of first arc and the son of the branch family of Tsuki Mikado clan. Despite being born into a distinguished Onmyauji family, he has no magical powers. He had been living a normal and laid-back life, seeing that he could not accomplish anything without any magical powers. When he was young, he made a promise with Natsume to become her Shikigami and protect her. After witnessing the death of Hokuto, he became Natsume's Shikigami to keep his promise he made to her many years ago. He seems to have some sort of bad luck which he considers an ancient curse passed down by his ancestors. He is really weak in studies and is usually tutored by Natsume to avoid being held back a year. Later in the light novel, the real identity of Harutra is revealed. He is the real reincarnation of Yako Tsuki Mikado. When he and Natsume were born, their places were exchanged. He was sent to the branch family and Natsume was sent to the main family. In the moment he regained his memories of the previous life, Natsume was killed. He performed the Taizan Fukan ritual and revived her. He eventually stays by Natsume's side as she wakes up and kisses her, telling her that he is sorry and he hopes that one day they will meet again. Natsume Tsuki Mikado, voiced by Kana Hanazawa, the main protagonist of second arc and Harutra's childhood friend and the daughter of the main family of Tsuki Mikado clan. She is a prodigal Onmyauji attending school in Tokyo. During summer break, she comes to Harutra's town to interrupt his peaceful life by holding him to the promise he made long ago to become her familiar. She is heir to the Tsuki Mikado family and is assumed to be the reincarnation of Yako Tsuki Mikado. As a family tradition, she is to present herself as male in front of other Onmyauji families, a tradition that was created to hide the true identity of Yako's reincarnation. However, they found out that she was actually a girl when her clothes were torn apart. She is a Goho-type Shikigami called Hokuto, a true dragon spirit that has served the main family of Tsuki Mikados for generations. She deeply cares about her family reputation and holds the burden of being the next heir of the Tsuki Mikado clan. After the incident with Suzuka Darenji, she is shown to be wearing the same ribbon Hokuto won from Harutra in the shooting game. She cares about Harutra and has had a crush on him since childhood. Taji Ato, voiced by Rya Kamura, a former delinquent and Harutra's best friend from school. He is capable of special spirit sensing and has a vast knowledge on Onmyodo. He was a victim to the spiritual disaster from 2 years ago. Harutra's doctor father treated him although the after effects remained. He realized way before Hokuto that Natsume was the one who conjured her. He enrolled the Onmo Academy in Tokyo along with Harutra. He usually helps Harutra whenever he gets in trouble. He is always seen wearing a green bandana. 2 years prior to the story, it was revealed that he was possessed by the Oni which caused the spiritual disaster. Thus in the end he became a half Oni and now tries to gain control to contain the Oni within himself. The reason he enrolled to Onmo Academy was to purify the Oni inside him. Suzuka Darenji, voiced by Aoin Sakura, the youngest of the 12 divine generals nicknamed the Prodigy. She is a wanted criminal for researching and using forbidden magic. She comes to town searching for Natsume to use her spiritual powers for Taizan Fukan ritual to revive her brother. She researched on Yako Tsuki Mikado and his Taizan Fukan ritual in order to bring her brother back to life. This leads her into conflict with the Onmo agency. Although being a powerful Onmuji, she is regarded as the weakest divine general as stated by Reiji Kagami. She is the daughter of the deceased divine general and the former leader of the Twin Horn Syndicate, Shido Darenji. In Episode 3, it was revealed that she and her brother were subjected to deadly experiments by their father before and after their birth, which resulted her being an excellent onmyoji. Her brother later died due to the experiments, and hence she came to Haritara's town to perform the Taizan Fukun ritual and revive her dead brother. She was also guilty for her actions which lead to Hokito's death, but Haritara releases her from her guilt when he reveals that Hokito was remotely controlled by its user. Most of her magic was temporarily sealed by Onmo agency, and she later enrolls in the Onmo Academy as her punishment for the incident in the countryside. Kayako Kuriashi, voiced by Eri Kaitamura, the granddaughter of the director of the Onmo Prep School and heir to the Kuriashi family. She is part of the top students in the school and one of only 3 known students to possess a Goho-type Shikigami, which consists of 2 Yakusho series man-made familiars called Hakuo and Kokufu. Initially she appears antagonistic towards Haritara due suspicion of using his family's fame and status of being Natsume's Shikigami to suddenly enroll directly into the elite academy at mid-semester. After a series of events, she reconciles with Haritara, establishing a friendship based on common ground. She also reveals 2 surprising truths. First being, that Kuriashis were once a branch family of the Tsukimikados. Second, she had once visited Tsukimikado's home as a very young child, and Kayako had made a certain promise with Natsume at the time. But once they had reunited again, Natsume treated her like a complete stranger. Frustrated at having her feelings trampled, she used Haritara as a pretext to start fights with Natsume. However, ironically, in reality, the person she met that day wasn't Natsume, but Haritara, who she mistook as Natsume. After helping Haritara save Natsume from a Yako disciple, the 2 make up. This later causes her to admit to Natsume that she is in love with Haritara, because he is her first love. Kayako now plans to further her relationship with Natsume and forces a reluctant Haritara to help her as payment for the Yako disciple incident. Tenma Momo, voiced by Hiro Shimono, a classmate that befriended Haritara and Taoji during their first day at academy. He ended up unwittingly involved in the Yako disciple incident when he was caught an attack from a Shikigami called a Kodoku meant for Haritara. He however resolved himself to help Haritara rescue Natsume after listening his request. Since then Tenma has been drawn in various events related to the cult despite his somewhat cowardly nature. He is quite knowledgeable on various info relating to current events of the Onmyodo world at large, and sometimes helps Haritara catch up with his studies by lending him his notebook. It was later revealed that he is from a prestigious Onamuji family. He is also the successor of the Momo family and Witchcraft Corporation, his deceased parents' company, who currently manufacture man-made Shikigami for general purposes and making the use of Shikigami accessible to all people. Akino Suma, she is a branch family member of the Suma clan, one of 3 great Onmyoji families, and is a living spirit. Akino originally met Natsume in Seihyuku Temple and became fast friends. After some dire circumstances that happened within the temple resulting in its complete utter destruction, she travels with Natsume and rest of Tsukimikados to Tokyo. Onmo Academy, Onmo Preparatory School, Jin-Oetomo, voiced by Koji Yuza, Haritara's homeroom teacher. A fairly quirky fellow who tends to be more laid-back than one would expect from a teacher, to the point where some would accuse him of being irresponsible. Despite that, he's usually good at giving solid advice to students and is known activist against the school's harsh policies when it comes to education. He lost his leg in a clash with a Shiodome and now has a prosthetic leg. He was a former magic investigator and divine general nicknamed the Shadow, who worked under Days Amami to investigate the Twin Horn Syndicate until he gave his resignation and started working as a homeroom teacher of Onmo Preparatory School in order to observe and protect Natsume. Mio Kuriashi, voiced by Fumi Hirano, the current head of the Kuriashi family and Onmo Prep School. She is a known figure in the underworld of Onmyoji, and her son is the chief of Exoticism Division of Onmo Agency. The current Kuriashi clan is considered one of most powerful Onmyoji families whose influence over the politics of Onmyodo and Japan rivals that of once glorious Tsukimikado family. A skilled diviner, she helped the Onmo Agency solve numerous extremely difficult cases. Mio is also one of the few people who knew Yako personally. She has a pet cat which uses as a messenger to relay information at long distances. Mako Fujino, voiced by Kotano Mitsuishi, a 26-year-old matron of the boys' dormitory who works in Onmo Academy and also a good friend of Ako Kyofu. She's into boys' love relationship and often fantasizes about it with Ako. She spread the rumors about Harutora, Taoji and Natsume's relationship after getting mistaken by Natsume's Shikigami with Harutora, who looks exactly like Natsume albeit with a male body. Ako Kyofu, voiced by Elia Hisakawa, matron of the girls' dormitory and a good friend of Mako Fujino. Fujiwara, voiced by Mitsuo Senda, an old man who works in the Onmo Academy who cares about his students' well-being. He is a teacher and also a practical instructor of Onmo Audo. He used to be independent exorcist in his younger days. See Suzawa Otome, see Takako Suma, Onmo Agency, Zenjiraku, voiced by Shinya Takahashi, an independent officer exorcist as well as a divine general nicknamed the Omnipotent Sword working under Onmo Agency together with Reiji Kagami. He was a classmate with Jin Otomo and they both were in the 36th class of Onmo Academy. The two along with Ryo Suotome were known as the Three Crows of the 36th. His Shikigami is a pair of Tengu known as Karasu Tengu. Karasu Tengu, voiced by Omi Minami, Karasu Tengu are the pairs of crow Shikigami spirit controlled by Zenjiraku. Their names are Kokuryu, Dasai, Raisin and Ubidan. Reiji Kagami, voiced by Hiroyuki Yoshino. He is a first-class Onmyouji and also a powerful divine general nicknamed Ogurita. He has a rude personality and does not care about other people. He has a scar on his forehead. He's an independent officer exorcist. Like Suzuka, Genji Kuriashi has placed a seal on him to lower his spiritual powers, but the main source of his powers are from the Ini he subdues. Shava, voiced by Takuma Terashima, Reiji's Shikigami which serves as a medium for the sword Higakiri. After getting affected by Ashiaduman's magical tool which can create spiritual disasters, Shava went insane and tried to attack Natsume by forcing her to summon Hokuto for a fight but was later defeated by Harutora after Harutora's semi-awakened state. Daisen Amami, voiced by Hiroya Ishimura, the current chief of the Magic Investigation Division of the Onmo Agency and also a divine general nicknamed the Divine Fan. He was also the senior of Jin Otomo when he worked in the Magic Investigation Division of the Onmo Agency. He's longtime friend to Mio Kuriashi and often addresses her as Mio-chan. Amami excels at illusion magic, Kodama and commands two high-class man-made familiars called Kinji and Ginji. Atsune Harata, voiced by Akira Ishida, a magic investigator working in the Onmo Agency. After the resignation of Jin Otomo, he's directing the investigation of the Twin Horn Syndicate. Iwa Miyachi, voiced by Ansha Ishizuka, a powerful first-class Onmyouji and a divine general nicknamed Fire Demon. He is an ex-Gotism officer and commander of Purification Rites Center. A burly figure with a good nature, he is considered one of the strongest of 12 divine generals due to his complete mastery of Akala's Fire Realm mantra, one of the highest class of fire magic. He serves as Genji's confidant and has strong faith in him. Mariuge, voiced by Marina Inu, she is an 24-year-old independent officer exorcist and a divine general nicknamed Binding Princess. Her speciality is in making powerful magical barriers as her nickname suggests. Genji Kuriashi, voiced by Jiro Kosugi, the chief of Exoticism Bureau, current head of the Onmo Agency and won 12 divine generals titled Heaven's Bearer. He is Kyuko's father and Mio's son. A well-respected man with iron will, strong ambitions and a sharp mind. Tago Miyayoshi, voiced by Hiroshi Tsuchida, a mild-mannered man who serves as the chief of the Clairvoyance Division which function as the Onmo Agency's intelligence section. He is member of the 12 divine generals called the Divine Eye. Despite being first-class shaman, his combat skills are comparatively weak, however his true value lies in his unnaturally powerful spirit sight. Ito, voiced by Kensuke Sata, a stern instructor and leader of the 13th Exorcist Squad at Onmo Agency's Meguro branch. He was a former Yako disciple who was good friend with Makihara and Mutobe. He tried to help his old comrades escape by using a magical tool Duman had given organization to summon spiritual disasters and cover their retreat. In the end he was killed by Shiva, before he could carry it out. Twin Horn Syndicate by Cornice Fellowship, Takako Suma, voiced by Hisako Kanemoto, a mysterious girl who appears for the first time in the 15th episode, in front of the heavenly altar. She affirms she's a student, but Harutora, Natsume and Taoji have never seen her or heard her name, although she seems to know them. Later it was revealed that she was disguised as Atsune Harata, who has acted as a double agent between Twin Horn and Onmo Agency's Magic Crime Investigation Division. She is the last remaining direct member of the Suma family who are implied to have royal origins as well as being a shrine maiden. The Suma clan along with Kuriashi clan stood on top of the world of Onmado together with the Tsuki Mikado clan during WWII and supported the Tsuki Mikados through their control of military. However, when Japan lost the war they had all but disappeared. While she is one of older members of Twin Horn Syndicate, Takako considers herself different from the current Yako disciples because she seeks to fulfill his will and ideals which the organization was founded on. She is secretly allied with Genji Kuriashi to achieve this desire and cleanse Twin Horn Syndicate of its mindless fanatical elements by awakening Yako within Natsume. Shida Darenji, voiced by Takahiro Sakurai, the former head of Twin Horn Syndicate by Cornice Fellowship and the Imperial Household's Lingering Spirit Division. He used himself as a core to trigger the spiritual disaster that happened 2 years prior to the story. In the end, he became an ogre, demon, and progressed into Phase 4 scale phenomena but later died due to unknown reasons. He is the father of the Divine General, Suzuka Darenji. When he was alive he was a Divine General nicknamed the Professor. In episode 17 it is later learned his maiden was Suma, and Darenji was another house he married into, thus implying blood relations with Takako. Takako revived him as Yace Doji to serve her as her Shikigami. His memories of his previous life were kept intact and while he gained a great power that surpassed his previous life, he too modified his appearance appearing younger so as to match Takako's taste. As Takako's Shikigami, his Yace Doji contract name is Yashamura. Chihiro Mutobe, voiced by Junichi Suabe, he was the right-hand man of Shido Darenji who also worked for the Spirit Division while being a member of Twin Horn. 2 years after the first spiritual terrorism, he tried to conduct a catastrophic event on the same scale with the assistance of Duman. Before getting into custody by Zenroku, he died due to a death curse spell which he placed on himself prior to incident. Takako revived him as Yace Doji to serve her as her Shikigami along with Shido. His memories of his previous life were kept intact and gained a great power that surpassed any he had in his previous life. He too modified his appearance appearing younger so as to match Takako's taste. As Takako's Shikigami, his Yace Doji contract name is Kumamura. Yoshitaka Makihara, voiced by Tsugo Mugami, one of the leaders of degraded fanatical faction of Twin Horn Syndicate. He and his cohorts within the Onmo Agency were the ones behind attempts at kidnapping Natsume and participated in spiritual terrorism prior to the story. Makihara and his men escaped the crackdown by the magical investigators by once again manipulating spirit pulses to cause another spiritual disaster. He was shot dead by and had memories erased by Haruta. Makihara was good friends with Chihiro Mutobe and Ito. The Tsuki Mikado clan, Yaka Tsuki Mikado, voiced by Ryotaro Okio, a genius on Miyagi and visionary who had appeared in the midst of the Great Pacific War and would be known as the father of modern Onmado. It was through his actions that the art of Onmado was able to revitalize itself in Japan by creating a new foundation, attaining him fame as well as many followers. A key figure in Japanese Imperial Army, his leadership in Onmo Agency won the military and the country many victories. However, it would also be he who caused the great spiritual disaster which brought about country's immediate downfall in the war. Despite the controversy that had arisen towards him in the aftermath of this, His legacy is still enormously respected and revered. Little is known of what happened to him afterwards, but there are many who theorize that Yakko's grand ritual may not have necessarily failed and that he actually undergone reincarnation. These theories and rumors, further fueled by divination, predicted that Yakko would incarnate himself half a century later to next head of Tsuki Mikado household, to whom his powers have blossomed in, and once again raise up lead the Onmyoji to a new era. Many of those who are strongly devoted to him refer to Yakko as the king of North Star Polaris King. Yasuzumi Tsuki Mikado, voiced by Shah Hayami, the current head of the Tsuki Mikado clan and Natsume's father. He can read the stars and predict the future accurately. In Volume 8 of the light novel, it was revealed that he given his son to a branch family to safeguard and had Natsume take his place, meaning, he is the biological father of Harutora. Takahiro Tsuki Mikado, voiced by Tomoyuki Shimura, Harutora's father, who is a doctor and is currently treating Taoji. He was a first-class mystical investigator in the Onmo agency but later left it and now works as a doctor in Countryside. He is also a graduate from Onmo Academy. It is later revealed he is not Harutora's real father. Chizuru Tsuki Mikado, voiced by Akino Watanabe, Harutora's mother and Takahiro's wife, who used to be an exorcist for Onmo agency. She worked in the Akibabara branch and was one of top 5 most skilled members there. Known for her peppy-like attitude, she is quite well liked among her peers. Claims she went by many names such as Ram of Akiba, Heavenly Belly or Lady Thunder of the Flash, but in reality she was nicknamed the Human Power Generator for how highly destructive her powers normally are. She specializes in lightning manipulation. It is later revealed she is not Harutora's real mother. Others, Hokito, voiced by Hisako Kanemoto, Harutora's childhood friend. She had a romantic relationship with Harutora and got really jealous when Harutora was kissed by Suzuka. During his next encounter with Suzuka, she sacrifices herself to save Harutora from Suzuka's Shikigami Tsukigomo, revealing herself to be a Shikigami. Hokito is actually Natsume's Shikigami, whom Natsume used as a medium to be close to Harutora. Hokito's death was what prompted Harutora to become Natsume's Shikigami. She shares her name with another Shikigami called Hokito, a dragon. Kun, voiced by Akai Toyosaki, Harutora's Shikigami. A diminutive silver fox spirit who wears Maiko-like clothing and wields a wakizashi and has served the Tsuki Mikado clans since a long time. She has been by Harutora's side since the moment he became Natsume's Shikigami, but due to his low spiritual power and awareness, he was unable to hear or see her. A rare Goho-type Shikigami, she possesses independent thought and actions and is fiercely loyal to her master, and even gets jealous when Harutora associates with other girls. Shortly before Harutora's awakening as Yakko, Kun reveals her true identity as his Hamura, one of Yakko's 2 legendary familiars who had disappeared after his death. Kun forcefully destroyed her 5 seals, restoring her true power and her appearance as his Hamura. Her first seal hides both it and the other seals, the second seals her personality, the third seals her appearance, the fourth seals her power, and the final seals her memory. His Hamura, voiced by Yuko Kada, she along with Kakagaki are the 2 powerful legendary Shikigami of Yakko Tsuki Mikado who were constantly at his side and renowned enough to gain military rank in the Japanese army during World War II. It is revealed in a short flashback that she is a familial connection to Yakko and is born into a branch family, thus, explaining her position as Yakko's familiar. She apparently disappeared shortly after her master's disappearance. Later, it is explained she has been secretly waiting for Yakko's return. Kakagaki considers her to be more loyal to Yakko than he is. Her faithfulness isn't just loyalty but also her devoted feelings for Yakko because he approached her without fear and showed her kindness, commenting how cute she was when they first met. Kakagaki, voiced by Haruki Yasumoto, one of the 2 Yakko's powerful legendary Shikigami who were constantly at his side and renowned enough to gain military rank in the Japanese army during World War II. He apparently disappeared shortly after his master's disappearance. He is later shown to be very much alive and is now a wanderer. He has one arm missing as seen at the end of episode 6. Kakugeki states he has no plans to get involved with the Yakko cult and remains neutral in conflict between them and Onmo Agency. Suzasu Otome, voiced by Izumi Kita, a mysterious eccentric third-year student that people often mistake for being younger than she is. She likes little girls despite looking like one herself. She is, actually, Dorman's familiar, even if she refers to herself as his disciple. Her actual identity is that of infamous Ryusa Otome, the leading Yakko researcher. She once worked for the Lingering Spirit Division, but left after a year. Along with being a graduate of Onmo Prep, in her school days she was classmates with Jin Otomo and Zendro Ukuo, forming the third member of Three Crows of 36th batch. Darman Ashia, voiced by Nobuo Tobita, one of the most powerful Onmyouji from Abe no Saimu's era. He was the rival of Abe no Saimu and fought him nearly 1,000 years ago. Ashia Duman has shown interest in Yakko's reincarnation and seems to have connection with Twin Horn Syndicate by Cornice Fellowship and Kakugeki. He also fought with Jin Otomo, which resulted in Jin losing his leg. Currently, he is no longer a human but a Phase 5 Oni. He forces himself to stay as a Phase 3 because if he did become Phase 5, he would cease being Ashia Duman. He later agrees to become Jin's familiar. Toshio Darenji, voiced by Akiko Yajima, Suzuka's kind, but ill-fated older brother who succumbed to his father's experiments and died prior to the story. Suzuka attempted to bring him back by trading her life for his using the Terzan Fukun ritual. Her brother ended up coming back as a shade. The shade then tried to kill Suzuka, but was stopped by Harutora. Once sealed and put to rest by Natsume, a distraught Suzuka and Harutora together buried him. Media, light novels. Tokyo Ravens began as a series of light novels by Kaori Asano, author of Black Blood Brothers, with illustrations by Summerhue. So far 11 volumes have been released. The first volume of a side story series titled Tokyo Ravens X was published on July 20, 2013. So far, 2 volumes have been released. Volume list, manga. Tokyo Ravens inspired the creation of 6 manga series based on the light novels. The first one, Tokyo Ravens, was illustrated by Atsushi Suzumi. It began in December 2010, and was serialized in Shonen Ace. The chapters have been collected into 8 volumes. It follows the main story of the light novels. The second manga series, Tokyo Ravens, Tokyo Fox, was illustrated by COMTA and published in Fujimi Shobo's Age Premium in 2011. It features an original story focused on Kun. The third series, Tokyo Ravens, Red and White, is a manga spin-off by Azumi Mochizuki. It was serialized in Kadokawa's monthly Dragon Age and concluded in the November 2013 issue. The fourth series, Tokyo Ravens, Sword of Song, is a manga spin-off by Rankyu's. Its serialization began in the November 2013 issue of Kodansha's monthly shonen rival. The fifth series, Tokyo Ravens Girl's Photograph, started serialization in Kadokawa's monthly Dragon Age in the January 2014 issue. It focuses on the female characters of the series. The sixth and the latest series, Tokyo Ravens Anovix Holiday, started in Kadokawa's shoujo magazine Milfei in the February 2014 issue. It focuses on the male characters of the series. Anime, an anime adaptation, aired in Japan from October 8, 2013 to March 25, 2014, produced by 8-Bit and directed by Takaomi Kansaki. Funimation has licensed the series for English release. The first opening theme is X Encounter by Manko Arasaki and the first ending theme is Kamigai Mu Yago by Yoshino Nanja. The second opening theme is Outgrow by Jiro and the second ending theme is Break a Spell by Mami Kawada. Episode list, reception. In Anime News Network's Fall 2013 Anime Preview Guide, reviewers Rebecca Silverman and Theron Martin gave the series an initial rating of 2 out of 5 stars, while reviewers Carlos Santos and Carl Kimlinger gave the series an initial rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars. Martin commented that the artistic effort is wholly unimpressive beyond the yokata that Tokito wears, and the CG creations stand out too starkly against the regular animation. Director Takamaki Kanasaki is quite capable of producing fun, stylish fare, but this definitely does not qualify. Only some decent early character development saves this one from the garbage pile, while Santos gave a slightly more positive review, stating that Tokyo Ravens is nothing special, but it isn't horrible either. This supernatural adventure series employs all the usual trappings of the genre, but does so without making a mess of the story or throwing too many ideas in. In fact, it even spends a good amount of time on the characters' day-to-day lives, instead of rushing them into the action. Silverman praised the series' art and character designs, as well as the series' use of both 2D and 3D CGI graphics, but concludes that right now it feels like a hodgepodge of ideas that hasn't quite gotten itself grounded yet, while Kimlinger criticized the series' poor start and use of cliché copyright stating that watching Tokyo Ravens is probably the closest you'll get to experiencing precognition. In a show that gets the desired effect from its tropes, that wouldn't be a problem. But Ravens only does its tropes half right. References. External links. Official novel website, official anime website, Tokyo Ravens at Fujimi Shobo, Tokyo Ravens at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia.